Hi everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Duchess. This is my channel, Dutchess Divinity, and we do lots of stuff here. But today we're gonna do a pick a card. Yeah, we're gonna get a twin flame message. So I'm just going to wait for people to start showing up in the live and in the chat. We'll have 3 groups to pick from for today, and actually, oh, my third eye is already itching. Actually, I'm going to be doing separate decks for each group, as well as, like, I have some channeled paintings that we're going to be choosing from as well. Hi, guys. Oh, geez, the chat's all catching up now. Hi. Thanks. Hi from Costa Rica. I was actually just looking at like a dance retreat out in Costa Rica. Hi, Sam. I was just wondering where you were because you'll love this. I got to show you this. Baby Pico made it for me. It's peas and chickles. Baby Pico made me my very own peas and chickles. It's like a hot pad, I think, but I'm using it as a decoration because it's so cute. From that live. Hi. Hi. I'm glad you love it, right? It's so funny. There was a live, guys, where I was eating cheese and pickles, and I don't know, I was just like going off. I was like talking a lot, and then my words got all mixed up, and I was like, peas and chickles instead of cheese and pickles. First live, welcome. Hi, Baby Pico. I was just showing this off. Peas and chickles. I just think it's so funny. Cornica, guys, I got fish. And Cornica, why don't you come say hello to the people? So I got 2 betta fish. They're separate, obviously, because they'll fight each other if not. But I just bought a table for them to put their tanks on and some lights and some toys, like a little hoop for them to swim through. So they have their little hidey holes and everything. One is named Princess Bubblegum, and the other one's named Lunch. But I was also calling Lunch Dr. Gay because I saw a license plate on my way home that just said Dr. Gay on like a really nice car, and I thought that was really funny. And then I've also been calling Princess Bubblegum Princess Cookie because of that episode of Adventure Time where that, I don't want to say it too many times because that's the word Cornica knows for her treats, but where that like cookie boy wanted to be a princess and they were like, you can't be a princess, you're a sad orphan, and then he like holds up an entire like gas station or something and they have to talk him down. Princess Cookie. Yeah, so she really likes them. Princess Bubblegum is pink and purple, and Lunch is like blue and coral, and they're both really pretty. Finally got you on a live, but I don't have a twin flame. Oh man, you can stay if you want. I just really, hi Pragya. I just really wanted to do a twin flame check because like I've been kind of out of the scene, like not doing as much work around it. Like I'm still doing my individual journey, but I haven't had as much stuff on the channel with twins because I just been focusing on myself and like my own journey. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to do a collective because I can feel a shift coming in February. My higher self said to me one time, February's a good month. Literally just like that when I was under hypnosis. And I feel that there's some shift coming. I don't know what it is, but I can feel there's something. Yeah, I want to do another channeled love letter too because those are really powerful. Betta fish are so beautiful. The way their fins move is literally ethereal. Yeah, that's why I wanted them. Your opinion, Dutch, what's the best way to speed up materializing a manifestation? To fucking forget about it. To literally think about it once and then never think about it again. So here's a really good example. I can do this with people. Like, if people from the past will, like, cross my mind in, like, the tiniest way ever, I'm like, oh, haha, I forgot they existed. And then I, like, go and I completely forget about them, they'll find me. Like, they'll find me online, they'll find my phone number, they'll be like, hey, like, I was talking to so-and-so, and I got your number because, you know, you're on my mind. Like, it's when you literally think of it so briefly and you have a neutral feeling around it, you don't care what happens, that's when it, like, manifests really quickly. When you're in complete neutrality and you don't care about anything, you're not anything, but you don't have attachment to anything. Let me say it like that. You don't have attachment to anything. It leaves all these open possibilities for different timelines to come into fruition. Hello, so nice to see you. Perfect time for a break from cleaning. Yay, hi Sasha, how you doing? Great question and thanks for the answer. You're welcome. Hi. Hi, Paul. Caught this live. Blessings will extend lunchtime. Yay. Any advice for detaching? For me, I've been really trying to stay in the moment. And so, like, and then also if it's a moment that is, like, less than comfortable. So, like, let's say you have, like, a job you have to go to and you're like, ugh, I don't really like work. Like, for me, working out, I'll use what I know. Hi, Maria. I'll use what I know. I don't like to fucking sit at the gym and look at Chi-Chi. She going in. Say hi. Hi. So, like, I don't like to go to the gym because I don't like how everything looks all creepy and inside and, like, weird, like, Black Mirror tech world. There's, like, 30 TVs and, like, half of them are playing doomsday news and the other half are playing, like, garbage reality television. And, like, I don't watch TV. If you don't know that about me, I don't watch any TV. I will watch, like, stuff like, I'll buy series and stuff, but I mostly watch YouTube. So it's like, I don't like it. And then it's like, it makes me in a bad mood because, like, the news is so horrific. Like, they literally never tell you good news. And so I was like, okay, so how can I stay in the moment when I don't like the moment? And so it was like going within, but still being present within. So it was like, instead of, like, watching the news channel, I just, like, looked over at, like, the Kardashians on, like, E, and, like, it's, like, Kim's wedding to fucking Chris Humphries, and I was like, oh yeah, remember that? And then it, like, sent me thinking, and I was like, damn. And then it had me, like, thinking really, like, conspiracy theory like, and, like, thinking about how things used to be and how different they are now, and how that was, like, an experiment to, like, the Kardashians' claim to fame, and how she was really, like, used to, like, she was used time and time again by that family to get a leg up and a leg up and a leg up. And so then I was still in the moment, like, I was still focusing on my workout and stuff, but I was, like, changing my moment, and instead of thinking, oh, Kardashians, trash TV, so annoying, so gross, I was thinking, ugh, like, that's kind of sad that, like, you know, like, you're just, like, the scapegoat to your family's fame, and, like, maybe she didn't have a say in it. And so I was, like, just looking at it from, like, a conspiracy theorist point of view instead of, like, such a negative one. And then it was like, before I knew it, my workout was over. So I feel like staying in the present, and then if your present isn't something that's enjoyable, it's like finding it's almost like finding your daydreams while still staying present and in the moment. Because if you're thinking too far to the past, that's going to make you stressed and depressed. And if you're thinking too far to the future, that can make you stressed and depressed too. And it's not like, I used to have a really hard time with this because I didn't know how to, like, stay in the moment and, like, not like, I was like, how do you be mindful? Like, you have to worry about stuff for bad things happen, and it's more about being organized. So choosing time to focus on the future. That's why lists helped me a lot, because, like, making lists helps me realize, okay, I had a doctor tell me this years ago. She said, make a to-do list and then make a to-do today. Because I would make these to-do lists and I had so much to do, but it's like, you don't have to do all of it in one day, right? It's like maybe over a week's period of time, you have a certain amount of things to do. So you put your whole to-do list and then you break it down to do today. And then also what I'll do is I'll throw some stuff on there that I'll be like, okay, if I get this done, great. If I don't get it done, I'm not going to be, like, hard on myself because I can just do that tomorrow. But I'll throw it on there for good measure if I change my mind and I feel, like, full of energy. So That's how I stay in the present better, because if not, I'll be thinking like, oh God, what am I gonna do? Like right now, I just reached out to my accountant because I want to be ahead of the game for tax season, and she just texted me and she's like, oh, like I had to move firms and my firm won't let me take any of my old clients. And I was like, oh my God, like now I need a fucking accountant. And so then I got a little panicky, and then I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna ask this person, this person, this person. But like it's good that I'm realizing this in January, that it wasn't like I texted her at like mid-March and was like, hey, are you gonna do my taxes again? And she's like, no, I can't. And so it's like, I'm trying to remind myself, like, you're being proactive. Your taxes don't need to get done overnight. You'll find someone, like, Spirit's got your back. Has Spirit ever let you down before? No. So that's the other piece of it too, is like faith and trust and going off of the way you've been provided in the past. Like, if Spirit has ever blown your mind with like a miracle or a manifestation, it's like holding on to that energy and trusting that it's like, oh, well, they've done it before. There's no reason why they can't do it again, you know? Huh, that went a little off the rails. I really needed that. The person that I think is my twin was trying to reach out astrally. My whole life is a series of lists. Stealing it to do today list. Yeah, exactly. Because like if you're like me, I get way overwhelmed because I always feel like I'm behind. Like no matter how much I do, no matter how hard I work, I have this like overarching pain that like looms over me of feeling like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not getting enough done, or I'm not productive enough, or I'm behind, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. Like I'm realizing it's like one of my life lessons, that and boundaries. Oh, this is going to help some people too. I got really mad at my spirits because I was like, I'm starting to hate the word boundary, because it's like I've been working on my quote unquote boundaries since I learned what they were when I was like 21, and I got into therapy because I had just had like a severe traumatic event. And so that's when I started to learn the jargon and learn about my mind and learn about psychology and really educate myself on what I was experiencing, and also like the truth of my layers of trauma that I've had throughout my life. And so I'm 30 now. That's 9 years of working on quote unquote boundaries. And it's like really annoying. And I'm getting better, obviously, but it's still frustrating because it feels like one of those matrix codes that I'm having trouble cracking. Money was the same way for years. Like when I was poor, I couldn't crack the money matrix code. I only cracked it when I stopped hating money, because I loathed money. If you loathe a certain energy, why would that energy want to be around you? If somebody fucking hates your guts, you don't want to be around that person, right? It's the same energy with money. If you fucking loathe money, why would that spirit want to be around you? Why would the spirit of abundance want to spend time with you if you literally hate it? And I had to change my perspective around money. It wasn't like, because like I can't get behind like, oh, I want to fight for this piece of paper. Like I could never get behind it. It never made sense to me. It was when I realized that money equated to quality of life and life experiences that I was able to get behind an abundance mindset. Because when I had no money, my life sucked, because it was like you don't know if you can pay your rent, you don't know if you're going to get kicked out, you don't know if you're going to be homeless, you don't know how much you're going to be able to eat. Like life sucks when you're fucking poor. And so that made me hate money, because I was like, oh, it's so unattainable, I can't have it, so I hate it. And then I just realized, like, no, it's not, because I thought it's so stupid. I'm like, why do I have to work for this stupid, ugly piece of paper with, like, an old guy's face on it? I hate it. Like, I just didn't like it. And then when I changed it and realized, no, like, money equals quality of life. Money equals safety. Money equals stability. Money equals fun, vacation even. Once I started to get, like, really understand abundance mindset, then it was like, oh, I don't just... Because at first it was like, woohoo, I love money because it makes me survive. And then it's like after I crossed that threshold, it was like I leveled up and I was like, oh, wait, money can be fun. Like, and also the direct amount of money that you spend on other people or use to help other people or use to help the earth. Like most of my money goes back into my business because I love what I do. And so it doesn't even feel like work, and it doesn't even feel like I'm spending all this money on stuff like that, you know. Orgonite just did a weird thing. But so I put a lot of money into my business, and my business helps people. My business is good for people. My business is good for the planet. Like, so then I get more money to put back into the business, you know? And then if you can find ways to make the things that you love a part of the business, that's even better. So like for me, being able to travel and work while I travel and being able to intertwine that into my work has been like mind-blowingly amazing, you know? And so yeah, that was just that I was saying it's a part of the matrix I've had a hard time cracking, the whole feeling like I'm enough, letting myself rest when it's time, listening to my body. But I actually did a really good meditation today where I was like, dude, I need to align my chakras. Like, I'm out here doing chakra alignments for everybody and their mother, and I haven't even checked in on myself. And when I did, like, my chakras were not only out of alignment, but they were fragmented. So I've never seen that in someone. They were like way far to one of the sides of my body and like fragmented and spread out. And so I did all the stuff that I do. I use sacred geometry in my guides and everything. I put the chakras back, got myself together, and then I saw a past life that's been hindering me. And I like moved through it, and it was really intense. And it was one of those things where I had to connect with my body and I had to connect with my twin. And that's why I wanted to do the twin flame reading, because it's like, it just feels relevant. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Sending you some love and light. Thank you. To me, money always equals independence, because that's the one thing my parents always held over my head. Yeah. Hi, Lizzie. No, I'm just talking off topic, but you look relaxed and happy. God bless you. Thanks. I'm trying to be more relaxed and listen to my body. Like today, I woke up late because I was tired. And I wasn't like, you stupid bitch, you idiot. Like, you know, we can all be really mean to ourselves for no reason. I'll literally do that some days. Like, you fucking waste of space waking up late. Like, it's crazy. I just realized, like, how hard on myself I am. And I think that, like, when I was coming out of, like, the really dark period in my life, like, being super harsh on myself might have had its benefits in getting, like, kicking my ass into gear. But at this point in my life, I'm not in that, like, survival mode anymore, and I don't need to be like that with myself. And if I don't have to wake up early, that doesn't make me a piece of shit. Like, I shouldn't feel guilty about it. Like, I should just sleep. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to relax more. Thanks for saying I look relaxed. I relate. I went to bed at 5 p.m. and woke up at 10 a.m. Need to be nice to yourself. Yeah, and you know what? Like, that's the other thing is, like, I was just listening to Elizabeth April, but I feel this anyway, that, like, our bodies are working really hard right now. I think, too, with all the information coming out about, you know, the whistleblower saying all of the, like, I don't want to say too much because it's gonna, like, give my YouTube a hard time, but, like, all I'll say is that whistleblower came out talking about mutating a certain illness purposefully, like the same companies that are supposed to protect us from this illness. And so it's just, I feel like we're constantly getting hammered. It's like now we're getting hammered with like all these random illnesses, whatever they feel like putting out. We're getting hammered by what they're putting in the air. We're getting hammered by what they put in the water. We're getting hammered by what they put in our food. We're getting hammered by spiritual attack, psychic attack. And then we're getting hammered when we go to bed because our soul is astrally battling all night long. I don't know about you guys, but my soul literally is always out, like, fucking harvesting and saving people's souls from these, like, concentration camp places. I have dreams like that all the time. So I just feel like it's good to get the sleep when you can, because we're working really hard on many different levels. I'm fucking exhausted all the time. I hear that. We have to continue to heal energetically. Agree. What is your opinion on morphic fields and subliminals? I like subliminals. I think they're helpful. I don't really know what a morphic field is, but I believe in like binaural beats, if that's what that is, where it's like certain sounds and frequencies can bring healing. Like I've experienced that a lot firsthand of binaural beats being healing for me, especially with headaches or like when I had COVID. Sound healing was really effective for me. This world is straight up toxic. We have to go above and beyond to protect ourselves. I am over here chugging apple cider vinegar 24/7, literally. Yeah, I'm so tired. It's hard to sleep. For some reason, all of Nebraska is above normal LVLs of radon. It's weird to me. It's the entire state. I don't know what that means. Your necklace? Oh, it got removed. My necklace? You like my necklace? This one I made. But I also I didn't make these, but this is Moldavite. This one's a different one. This one, I don't remember this, I just got it. This is jade and it's got Buddha. And yeah. Your necklace is just wow, thanks. Do you know who the red-eyed woman is? She had thin hands, and once she held my hand in sleep paralysis, and left last night. No, that sounds like an opportunistic. Wait, was she giving you the sleep paralysis? Or was she comforting you through the sleep paralysis? Because sometimes you're having a moment and spirits just end up seeing the moment. So she wasn't giving it to you. Then I would say she was probably just passing by. So, okay, this is kind of crazy, but one time I had just had a really amazing call with, look at this beautiful girl. I had a really amazing video call with the most psychic woman I've ever met in my life. And that night I was really sick. I'd been sick for days, and I was really sick, and I coughed all night long, and it felt horrible. Like, so you know those nights where you're just so sick you literally cough for an entire 8 hours, like you're like like it's just horrible. My body was like seizing. It was like, obviously not really, but it sucked. And I rolled over at one point, and I literally saw this like fish being, and he was just standing over me, like taller than my doorway, and he was huge, and he was like almost like a holographic creature. Like, he was like just energy, and he was just standing over me. He looked like an aquatic creature, but he scared me. I thought he was bad at first because like I could see his teeth and they were really sharp, and I've channeled his species before, but I've channeled more evolved versions of him. He looks very prehistoric. But and even the ones that I've channeled, they're still prehistoric looking, but he looked really old. And so he scared me because he had like sharp teeth, and he was really like prehistoric looking. And he was just standing there watching me, and then he disappeared, and I was like, oh my God, was he the one that was like doing that to me? And then when I asked Spirit about it, they basically said it's like he was just passing through. Like, he was just a passing spirit. He saw a human having a human experience, and so he observed it, and they equated it to like if you're out in the woods and you see deer, what do? You usually like quietly, like, you watch the animal be in its environment until you know something spooks it and the deer leaves, and then you go on with your life. It was like that. I was like the deer. I was having like a human experience, and he was just passing by, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna observe this human having a human experience. And then when I turned over and I got spooked, he left. You know? So it could be something like that, where you were having sleep paralysis and she was just a wandering or spirit that was just passing through and decided to comfort you through it and just be there for you. And then it's good for her too, because then she gets to observe a human having a human experience, because I don't think a spirit can really have sleep paralysis, right? Because it's a spirit, so it's not going to sleep the way a human does. A lot of people love to hate humans, but humans, like every other species, finds us so fascinating because we are such a modge podge of DNA of all different kinds of species from throughout the universe, and we hold so much power within ourselves. Like, people love to talk shit on humans and the human race and blah blah blah, but it's just our brainwashing has us very misguided. At our core level, we're very powerful, which is exactly why they brainwash us, to keep us out of our power, right? So wow, I could ramble on forever and ever. So whenever we get to it, not that I'm rushing it whatsoever, but I choose pile 1. Nice! It left once she held my hand. That's nice. She sounds like she was just supporting you. My God, dude, yes, when I was working at a salon in a rich area, I did a study just to see how people are reacting to the V, and people who had the V got the virus 2 to 4 times, and people who had the V got the virus 2 to 4 times, and the symptoms were worse than those who got naturally infected. I'm not surprised to hear that, because it's like a Frankenstein project that was put together in, it literally was called warp speed. Like, who would support that? Who would support a warp speed medical situation? Nobody wants warp speed when it comes to like their lifelong well-being, you know? We don't want that. Laughs nervously. I love your rambling. Thank you. Hi. Please ramble. Nice. Okay. I'll smoke a little weed, and then we'll get to picking the groups. I'm excited about the groups today. Like I said, they're a bit more organized than usual. Actually, I'll probably smoke, pee, and then we'll pick the groups. Oh, wait, there's a medical scandal? Yeah. All I'm going to say is look up Project Veritas on Twitter. I would go through DuckDuckGo, if you know what I mean. I would search through DuckDuckGo, search Project Veritas on Twitter, whistleblower. It happened a couple days ago. It's already had 12 million views. The truth is just telling itself, and the truth will continue to tell itself, because they've already lost. You touched prohibited subjects, Dutch, and my internet went mad for a while. They're listening. No, literally, there was just 70 people in here, and it dropped down to 50 when I started talking about that. I'm not surprised your internet got weird. They're probably gonna put a bunch of glitches on this video like they always do. Let's not repeat Atlantis, please. You talking about that gave me goosebumps. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. So true. The V literally makes the virus attracted to you. I'm not surprised, because that makes them more money, right? I'm so excited to catch this live on your vibe with the green. Yay, thanks. I'm going to need to re-listen to this because I want to catch that link, but I missed it. Most interesting and educational show. Thank you. It's one of those things, you know, it's one of those things where I've been a conspiracy theorist for many years. Probably since 2018, I really started to delve into conspiracy, and really that's when I started to get into politics, and that's when I started to really see everything for what it is. So it's like these things, when they come out, at this point, it's like I just end up finding them, because it's like I have friends who see them and notify me of them, or I have friends who know it's gonna happen, or it's like I'm following the right accounts that's like, oh, go check this, you know what I'm saying? But Project Veritas is really powerful. They've been working on informed consent for years, because they saw the way that there was no liability in the hands of big pharma, and how they were just getting away with these crimes against humanity in all different ways, not just with the V. There are many different ways that they're getting away with crimes against humanity. Cancer treatments being one of them. That's a story for another day, but there's a whole dude that like the FDA has been like silencing and keeping from sharing his like cures for cancer. Like, it's really fucked up. And so I've known about their crimes against humanity for years, and Project Veritas worked on creating informed consent because they feel that there's so much hidden from the general public around the health and safety concerns and procedures that have to do with, you know, medical stuff. They just feel like there's not enough transparency between the product makers and the doctors and the patients, and they feel like they've been trying to bring informed consent to prevent so many people from being injured in different ways, whether it's from V's or other treatments or other malpractice things, because, you know, the FDA, the CDC, the World Health Organization, they're all run by the same people. So the people that are checking and double checking on others are the exact ones that have stock in what they're checking. So of course they're going to overlook little things, right? This is not new. The Panini just brought it to the surface. That's all. It's been going on for a very, very long time. And so Project Veritas has been around for a very long time, and they're very credible, and they do a lot of good work to help people see the truth behind what it is they're being sold by the pharmaceutical industry. And if you ask me, health, well-being, and medical procedures should never be something that has to be sold, right? If it's truly for your highest and greatest good, if it's truly for your benefit, it'll sell itself because the product will be quality, right? You don't have to be a shady salesman about it, and you don't have to leave out certain parts of the truth just so that people say yes. I always say the lack of informed consent is like when somebody takes advantage of a drunk girl. Did she say no? No. Well, that's because she was passed out. She didn't say yes either. It was a no the second she passed out. That's not real consent. It's some fake ass consent. That's always what I compare it to. If you don't have all the facts, like what if, like imagine this, imagine you were like about to have sex with someone and they just leave out that they have like an active STD, and they, you know, they never say I'm clean, but they never tell you they have an active STD, and then you come back and you're like, dude, you gave me this STD. And they're like, oh, well, you know, you never asked. Like, it's deception. So it's like you consented to it because you never asked. And it's like, no, if I knew you had an active STI, I would have said no. So it's not true consent. It's like fake consent because they're leaving out like certain major pieces of information. And it's affecting people's lives and their health and their futures. It's literal gaslighting. It is. It's about time the truth won, and the truth will continue to win. Agreed. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. There's no reason to lie. Just set correct expectations for people. Medicine is a serious business. Agreed. Acupuncture, Eastern medicine, Reiki, Ayurvedic medicine, all good things, natural healing. Agreed. Don't get me started on that because my dad does amazing work with stem cells, but the FDA is always up his ass. Exactly. Yep. You're wearing camouflage too. It's funny. Yeah. I started losing hope for our society when my corporate job forced us to get V's and we would get fired. That's the thing, right? Like, it's crazy. Like, that's also fake ass consent. That's like when that's like the first thing I learned when I was nannying. That like if you're in charge of a child and you know what's best for them, you're gonna choose ultimately what's best for them, right? And so that was our government treating us like children, treating us like they knew what was best for every individual medically, trying to make one size fits all and basically be like, well, we'll just kill off the weaker ones because like for someone like me, I will go into full anaphylactic shock with that kind of V. It happens to me with flu V. I went into full anaphylactic shock. I'm not doing that. It's scary. Every time I go into anaphylactic shock, it feels like I'm going to die. Like, if you have allergies, you get it. It feels like you're dying. Like, you can't breathe. Your whole body is reacting. It feels horrible. I'm getting red just thinking about it. I'm not doing it. How dare you sit there and tell me that's what's best for me when it could literally kill me? Like, you're acting like you know everything and you literally know nothing, and you're just kind of like, oh, screw you. You can just die if it doesn't fit your body right. And they were saying the same things to people who didn't want to get it. Okay, screw you. We just hope you die. Like, it's just so gross. But like with a kid, so like, for example, if the kid I'm nannying wants to have a fucking Sour Patch Kid at like 7 a.m., I'm going to say no, because that's going to set me up for a tricky day. That's going to set me up for a sugar high and crash day before we even get our feet off the ground, you know? So then let's say he throws this huge fit and I'm like, okay, well, you have a choice. You can stay inside and you can throw this fit about the Sour Patch Kid, or, you know, we can go outside and we can play and we don't have to be sad, or we can put on your favorite movie. Either way, the answer to Sour Patch Kid is no. It's how you react to Sour Patch Kid that you have a choice in. That's what they did to us. Either way, the answer is get V'd. You don't have a choice, but you do have a choice in how you react to that. So, it's not a choice if you're literally gonna lose your livelihood. It's not a fucking choice. And it's not their fucking business to say. It's just not. It's not their fucking business to say. I do wonder if the V would have been so pushed if people who could wear masks did, and if people kept distance. I see people with full-on coughing fits out in public getting in other space. To be honest, though, I just don't think the government has any place in saying what I can or can't do with my body. If we're going to say my body, my choice about, you know, the other issues, then it's the same for masks and Vs, okay? It's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing. How is that not, like, rapey? To be like, I'm going to penetrate your body against your will. I'm going to suffocate your breathing holes. I'm closing up your breathing holes against your will. It was very triggering for me as a sexual abuse survivor, that whole situation. No, it's not the same, but there's a lot of similarities, huh? Like, it's just... and fuck masks. Like, I said it in the beginning and people got really mad, but it's not about... It's the same fucking argument they used for the Vs. Do it to protect the people around you, only to find out the Vs didn't protect shit. And it's the same thing with the masks. Do it! It's not about you. It's about the grandmas. And it's like, dude, the masks didn't fucking protect the grandmas. That's not how they work. Like, it's just... Everything was a stupid fucking lie. And I'm going to have to do another live. Like, I'm going to have to end this live and do another one because I will get demonetized for this. So, I'm going to have to do another one. Masks look like muzzles. Coincidence? I think not. I agree. Same. That's literally... can't ever build nothing on lies, deception, and disrespectful tactics to manipulate personal gain. Make that individual an instant insect. Be real and true. No is no. Be a man. Agreed. I think we were just simply being experimented on. I couldn't say it better myself. I think they were seeing how many people they could kill and how many people would fall in line. All they ever talk about is overpopulation. It's like they want a ton of us dead, and the ones that aren't dead, they just want to be like submissive zombies that are slaves to the pharmaceutical industry, confused about who they are, thinking they have no soul, thinking they have no identity, thinking they have no roots or origin, thinking some people are better than others, thinking some people continue to oppress other groups of people when it's like literally as an entire race, like an entire human race, the middle class, like, and the lower class, like, we're a slave race. Like, stop acting like me, like the white girl down the street, like barely, like just paying for her bills and everything is somehow like oppressing my neighbor with a different fucking skin color. No, the systems, like the fucking politics who pretend to be your best friend, like they're oppressing you. I didn't do shit to you. In fact, I'm oppressed too. And it's like, it's just crazy. Like, everything, nothing makes sense. It's fucking topsy-turvy upside down day. It's like fucking opposite day. I just wish it was Leif Erikson day. Vringading the Durgan. Instead. Why can't it just be Leif Erikson day? I love your words. So much power. Thank you. We were all required to wear masks at all times. We all had to get vaccinated against the flu, and almost the whole pharmacy still got the flu. Exactly. All this stuff is so confusing. Agreed. I'm going to shut up before I get my account shut down. They're already holding my tax refund. Oh. See, that's the other thing. Like, how is that allowed? How is it allowed that these, like, people that don't know me, that will never know me, that simply know me as, like, a bunch of, like, a social security number, like, the number that they gave me when I was born to use as my, like, tracking information, that's how they keep track of me and my money and just take it, just cause? Well, you're alive, and being alive... We understand being alive costs you money, but somehow you being alive costs us money. So don't just pay for yourself being alive. Pay for, like, we know you already do that every single day. We know you pay rent. We know you pay for water. We know you pay for food. We know you pay for insurance. We know you pay for literally everything. But that's just not enough for us millionaires. Not even million, billion, trillion, whatever fucking comes after that. Like, we need more tax money for our mansions, because I need a mansion down in Florida, and I need a mansion in California, and I need a mansion over here and over there and over there. Like, it's just crazy. It's like, it doesn't make any sense, and that's why more and more people are getting so sick of, like, every year I feel like tax season is, like, on the brink of, like, I just feel like we're gonna see a major shift, a major change. Like, it blows my mind that the US is so in debt that they're like, oh, okay, we're just gonna see how much money we can make off of all of the innocent bystanders who can barely survive anyway. Like, we give them little to no, like, pay in the first place, and they can barely survive, and they're already our slaves. But we're in so much debt from all this money that we poured into a war that's not our own, and into gender studies in Pakistan, and this and that we're going to take count after. We're going to see how much money we can get from them this tax season, and see how much of their money can pay us back for all the things that we paid for already with their previous tax money, stuff they never asked us to pay for, but we're doing it anyway. And so then after we account for how much money we can steal from them this tax season, then we're going to start dipping into the postal workers' retirement funds and start taking money from there to pay our debt. To who? Like, who is America in debt to? Like, I know it's probably a lot of different things, but, like, that sounds like an America problem, not a Dutchess down the street problem. Dutchess down the street just wants to fucking exist and, like, not be. I don't want to do gender reform in Pakistan. That's none of my fucking business. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have that, but I'm saying that, like, I didn't ask for that. Like, when you took all that money out and then you got yourself in debt, like, that wasn't my plan. That was a you plan. So why do I have to fix your mistake? You know? Like, it just doesn't, none of it fucking adds up. The Federal Reserve. Ugh. I want to get into herbology, but I'm a baby when it comes to stuff like that. Herbology? Would you consider yourself an environmentalist? Do you like herbology? I don't know much about, I'm a girl that likes to sit outside in nature. I like to energetically connect to nature. I believe that I feel guilty every day about the amount of plastic I have to recycle and everything. But it's like, that's the other thing that's like, that is not a Dutchess down the street problem. That's not a Joe Schmo problem. Like, the reason I have such a high intake of plastic is because that's the resources that are provided to me. My laundry detergent comes in a big fucking plastic bottle. Like, there's nothing, like, I can't change that. You know what I mean? Like, because the laundry, I get cast iron soap because I'm so sensitive. I can't have regular detergent. I have to spend $50 on a fucking gallon of laundry detergent because my skin is so sensitive and the products they put out are such shit. So it's like, I can't help that big jug because that's all it comes in. And so that's why I get really angry when I hear all this climate change shit, because it's like, dude, like, do better. Maybe put it in like a milk carton or something so that it like breaks down. Like, how are you going to get mad at me and act like I'm creating climate change when you're literally out here flying like 15 minutes away on your private jet, chemtrailing up the air, and then selling me products in plastic? Like, how am I going to do better if you don't do better? It's like blaming the kid. It's like, if the kid keeps coming to school dirty and you're like, why does this kid, like, you're mad at the kid, like, they shouldn't be so smelly and dirty. Like, no, that's actually sad, because that means that the adult that's in charge of the child is not meeting that child's basic needs. So it's not the child's fault, that's the parents' fault that the child isn't getting what they need. The responsibility is not on the child. It's the same fucking thing. If you are providing the entire globe with products, and the products you're providing the entire globe are not sustainable, then, like, that's not a me problem, that's a you problem. Like, it's just so crazy to me how they try to make it all our fault. It's like we have abusive, narcissistic parents that we never wanted in the government. Like, nobody asked the government to be my fucking daddy. I didn't fucking ask for that. And then you're abusive and narcissistic on top of it. Like, just go away. Shut up. Nobody, just shut up, you know? Enjoying this awesome conversation? Subscribe, baby. Oh, I just started studying horticulture. I have fish and frogs and use fish water to grow my plants and veggies. That's amazing. Thank you for all this information. Can't believe how ignorant I've been on with all these topics. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it's helping you. It's really pretty here, but over the years it gets increasingly more dangerous. Lots of antisocial behavior and bigotry, to be honest, but people in general are pretty chill. It actually sounds very confusing. And to avoid plastic, it is expensive and sometimes just not even possible. Oh, it's Ireland. You're talking about Ireland. Bro, I live in Ireland and I've been to the US once, and being in the stores there, the workers are so dead inside, and in your country, it's completely empty looking. I was shocked. It's funny because people who are like world travelers and stuff, they always say that like America has a special type of sickness, which is true. But it's like going back to what someone said earlier about how it's like we're all just a big experiment. I like to look at the different sections of the planet as different brainwashing experiments. So like, and even like what the people put up with, like, okay, so like in America, we're not putting up with people taking away our Second Amendment because we know that as soon as you take away our weapons, we're completely defenseless against this overbearing government, and that is what we could, you know, lose our freedoms from. And, you know, yes, people take advantage of the Second Amendment, but usually the people who do didn't go through the proper legal processes and were actually being illegal in the first place to break the law, then again, more illegally. So it's like we do have, in some places like where I live, there's extreme stronghold. Like I can't get a pistol permit. I can't buy and have guns or bullets or anything because I've been hospitalized in like the psych ward, which is fine. Like I'm okay now, but like I also don't have a problem with them telling me no about that, because that's being safe, right? That's being safe, that's being practical. And so it's like that's one of the things that we're not going to give up on here in America, whereas someplace like Australia, they gave that right up a long time ago. But then, or like China or Japan or something. But then like China or Japan, they have like really high quality food. Like they have really high quality healthy options for food, whereas in America, it's like one of the things we seem to have given up is like our like feeling the importance of food, or even of culture. Like a lot of other places have, even though they're under like a tyrannical government, they've refused to let go of their culture or their religion or whatever. I feel in America, our brainwashing has really stripped us of our individual cultures, because most of us here, like my family comes from immigrants. Like my family immigrated here, Italian and Irish immigrants. So it's like we've lost our culture, and we've lost, like, the food is probably the worst it is in the world. Like I know a lot of the food we have out here is literally illegal in other parts of the world, and so I feel like different sections of the globe have different strongholds around the governmental control and how they affect. So like, yeah, maybe we have weapons, but now we're getting this really shitty food, and so we have lower like quality of life when it comes to health, whereas maybe somewhere in Japan and stuff, they have higher quality of life when it comes to like physical health, but like their mental health isn't as good because like the government is far more overreaching, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I just see it as different pockets of control and brainwashing with different shortcomings, like different shortcomings and different things that were negotiable and non-negotiable. So I just feel, but I feel like every part of the world is oppressed in some way, and I feel that a lot of the service to self, a lot of the people who run everywhere in the world are service to self, and I think that a lot of them are in cahoots, and I think that it's this big power play and grab on how much they can get out of us and how much power and money they can attain. Well said. Thank you. Yes, fascinating description. Thank you. Can't say you're wrong, Dutch. Thank you. I'm from Greece, and there's no one that has guns, not even the cops or anything. I had never seen a gun in real life until I came to the US. That's crazy. And that, Yana, is why we don't, like, we can't give it up. America is the free world because they know they can't fuck with us. Like, that, it's like, if the free world like, we're the last of the free world in that way. And like I said, like, I don't support violence. I don't have a weapon. I mean, I have mace, I have a bat, I have weapons in my home. If I need to defend myself, I'll fucking defend myself. I don't need a fucking gun in my house. Whenever I get married, I hope my husband is great with guns. I hope he has lots of them, or at least a couple of them, and I hope he, and he'll have them safely. And I already decided whenever I get married, and I am assuming my husband will at least, I mean, we need something just in case, God forbid, but I already decided, like, I don't want to know the fucking code to the safe unless it's an emergency. And then I started thinking of ways that I could make that possible. But either way, it's like, you just never know, and you can't give up that right, because God forbid it were to get like it was in China, where people were literally being murdered for protesting, or like taken to jail for life for protesting. Like, we can't let it get that way here, How are you going to end an aggressive bear with mace, though? The disconnect from nature is crazy. I don't really have like bears. I'm not worried about bears where I'm from. But there is bear mace, which is really effective. Would definitely recommend Hamburg. It's the best of Germany. If we get married, we'll have those guns, a few choice pieces. Anyway, can you shoot? You want to marry me, Sam? Yeah, actually, I can. I'm pretty good, but I don't like it. Like, it's not that I do like it. I like it a lot, but it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to have a gun in your hands. And so it's like, I like it. I like it in short dosages. I like knowing what I'm doing, but it's like, I don't, it's a lot of pressure. And I always go with my family. Like, I always go with my family, and we're really, like, respectful and careful of it. I just think it's one of those things that you gotta know what you're doing, Oh my God, did you see the drones in China? No. In Greece, hunters have guns, but you need multiple permits. I'm so scared. I feel like we're all slowly gonna lose our freedom like that. I just think that we just have to stand up to them, It's like how I was saying in the beginning. You can't think too far in the future, because then you'll stress yourself out. You can't think too much in the past, because you'll stress yourself the fuck out. You just have to be prepared, right? Prepare for the worst, but expect the best. That's what I started to tell myself during COVID, when I was like really triggered by everything. I just started to say, prepare for the worst, expect the best. I really want to know how to shoot, but I don't really want a gun. You can go to like shooting ranges. I don't know if we have a guy that we see, and then he has the guns, and he like teaches us and helps us and everything. For the record, I am quite enchanted by you. Thanks, Sam. Everyone's like, yo, chill, Sam. All right, guys, we're gonna get off this live. BB guns are a good intro. That's good information. We're gonna get off this live, and then I'm gonna go on another live, and then we're gonna do the reading on the other live. So I'm gonna end this live, and then I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then I'll be right back, and we'll do the second live, okay? Because this is definitely would affect the viewing of this. Yeah, right now, because if I do the reading on, somebody give Sam some water. That boy is thirsty. Oh my God, Lizzie. But Yeah, because if I leave this on the beginning of the live, like an hour of me talking shit about the system, it's gonna like affect my views. So we're gonna do a different one, okay? So give me like 4 minutes. Okay.